What's up, everybody? Yep, back at it again. We actually got some saw work to do tonight. I'm gonna take you along, show you what we got going on, and we got some big announcements to make. So as we're working along with these saws here, we'll just kind of talk to you and tell you what we got going on and what's coming up, and as well as fill you in on the details as to why we're building this saw here. So stay tuned, follow along to the end, and you'll get to hear all about it. So I'm gonna sit you up on the tripod now and we'll get started. We'll get started here. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I know I am. Excited to be working on these saws. It's always nice. Get you in the right position here. All right, so what we have here, we got two 372s, both xtorq. This saw here runs good, but the case is pretty messed up. That hole right there, if you can see in there a little bit, is completely worn out. Somebody run the bolt loose and never tightened it, and it ruined the case there in that spot. Saw runs great though, other than that. So we got another good set of cases here to where that hole is good. You can see it right here. That's where the chain brake goes and also holds the pull starter on. But somehow or another, this saw had a fried top end. We ended up getting it that way. It actually came just like this. It didn't have nothing on it, but we just got through wiping it down a little bit. We're gonna swap everything from that running saw over to these cases. So that way we'll have a perfectly good running saw with a good chain brake hole, and everything will be in working order. So we're gonna take you along for that, and we'll explain to you why we're doing this build. This is gonna be a completely bone stock build. The saw don't have any port work or anything like that. We're just building it for an upcoming saw event that we will be having on December 11th. So next month, if you're watching this video, of 2021. And this saw will be raffled off at the event in person. So everybody will get to see it. And some lucky one of you will get to take this saw home. Some of you may already know about this event that's coming up. You may have seen it on Bellhopper's channel. If you have, that's fine, that's great. It means you just knew about it a little bit sooner. But the event that Hopper's been talking about, we're hosting here at this location. And I will provide the details either in the description. We'll probably do it in the description, as well as I'll probably post some more stuff about it with the further details on it, the address and whatnot. But yeah, I encourage you to come and hang out with us. We're gonna have some saw racing, probably several different classes of saw racing. We'll probably have, what, a 3 cube?
Probably 3.5 unlimited.
3.5 and then an unlimited class. So people, oh, this one's got gas in it apparently.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Always remember to drain your gas before you start doing this. Smart idea. Didn't do that here. While Brendan's draining that for us, we'll explain to you a little bit more and wipe this carburetor down because it's nasty. You can see it's really nasty. You don't want to have a really nasty carburetor on the saw. But yeah, we'll have 3 cube class, a 5 cube class, and an unlimited class. We'll probably have some vintage stuff as well. You know, there'll be like vintage saw racing and just stuff to run saws for. We'll have plenty of wood for people that just want to run a saw. We'll probably have like a little swap meet set up too. So if people want to swap saws or parts or whatever, as well as, you know, some of our stuff we'll have there. You'll be able to do that there as well. There won't be no restrictions on, you know, that.
Do a little milling too.
We'll probably have a little bit of chainsaw milling because we got, I'll show you that. We got you've seen the video before, but if you've not seen it, there's the chainsaw mill, and that's the setup. It's an old John's a Red 90. So you'll probably see that at the event, and probably some other. We'll have plenty of other stuff. Probably stuff that we've not even talked about yet. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I definitely encourage you to come if you're able to. This was kind of a quick planned thing. It's not something that here, we'll put you over here on this side so you can see even better. That'll be a lot better right there. This event was just recently planned, so I you know, I apologize for the short notice, but if this goes well, which I'm hoping it really will, it will probably be a reoccurring thing. We'll probably start doing it, you know, year to year. And it'll be like a buck and stock, or, you know, everybody's been wanting to have a hopper fest or whatever. This is going to be our own little saw get together for everybody. Us, you know, for the ones that have wanted me to have an event, and you know, Hopper as well, and my buddy Brennan, he's been wanting to do it. It was his idea to do this, so y'all can thank him for that and hosting the event. But yeah, we'll have all kinds of stuff there. Plenty of wood, and we're probably gonna have some food as well for people. We're planning on making that free, so you ain't gotta worry about having no money for the food. The reason why we're doing this raffle saw, this saw will be to help cover the cost of the event. You know, all the money from this will go towards helping get the event set up and covering the cost of everything. So definitely, if you can, get in on this. Somebody's going to take this saw home. That's going to help us out tremendously. We're not going to ask for no donations or anything, but we're not going to say no if you do. If somebody decides they don't want to take the saw home and they just want to help out, that's fine too. We're not going to say no. But yeah, whatever y'all want to do is fine. But yeah, that's basically it on that. Definitely try to make it. I think it's going to be a blast. I think everybody that comes is going to have a wonderful time. If you're into chainsaws or camaraderie or whatever, we'll probably have a little bonfire as well, because we'll have plenty of cookies and stuff to burn, I'm sure, once everybody gets done playing around. So yeah, that's another good thing. Get this muffler took off. Looks like it's got a crack in it, so I have to try to find one. Yeah, it is, you're right. 5mm. Yeah, is there anything else you can think of, Brennan, that we need to add?
You'll need an ID.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have an ID, because
Sign a waiver.
we're gonna have to get everybody to sign a waiver.
I mean, other than that, though, it's kind of.
So make sure Make sure you have an ID. There won't be no cost to enter. Insurance is free. All you got to do is sign the waiver.
Just provide your ID and sign the waiver.
Sign the waiver, and you're unlimited access. You can stay as long as you want to. You know, we're planning on starting the event on December 11th. I know I've already said that, but December 11th, and it'll probably be sometime around 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 to 9, somewhere in there. You know, and it'll probably be an all-day thing. You don't have to be there at that time, but
I'd say we maybe give the saw away at
noon or
afternoon, maybe 2 or 3 or something.
yeah, we'll give this all away later on in the afternoon. So if you want to partake in that,
Or if it hits the slots before then, if it hits the number of slots we want to fill before then.
Yep. We're planning on doing
we're just gonna do an extended, you know, a certain number.
Yeah, it'll probably be $5 entries or so, $5 to $10 entries.
Because again, we don't want to make any money off of this. We just want to cover
Yep.
cost.
This saw is not to make any money off of.
So we're going to set a certain amount of slots to cover it, and that's going to be it.
Yep. And there's going to be other stuff there. We're planning on having some more saws to raffle. I know Bellhopper said something about he's got some people that want to donate some chainsaws and stuff for the event. So we appreciate that as well. If you're a part of Bellhopper's crowd, we really appreciate that. If you do make any donations, we'll greatly appreciate it.
We might do some chains or something, like some dollar raffles on
Yeah.
some chains.
Yeah, he's got
Some
a
square chains.
he's got the best square grinder you can get. I mean, a Sylvie, you know, it's legit. So we're probably going to do some square ground chains, maybe a round ground chain or two, maybe a new chain for somebody.
Maybe just a box chain or something.
Yep. We'll probably have some chain raffles and things like that. You know, like I said, the swap meet will be around, so we'll be able to swap parts and, you know, chainsaws, and probably be some there to purchase if you want to buy one or something like that. I don't know if we'll have any hot rod saws to sell, because I know there's probably going to be questions about that. I just don't know if we'll have enough time to get things ready.
And do that.
Yep, because we still, you know, I've got customer saws to get done, and I'm still kind of behind on that, so I can't promise I'll have any hot rodded saws available, but once I get things back on track, if this event goes well, like I say, next year, hopefully we'll be able to be a lot more prepared and have a lot more stuff, as long as this, you know, goes according to plan. And, you know, hopefully year to year we'll be able to make it better and better. That's the whole goal, to be able, you know, like for those of you that went to Buck and Stomp, it'll be similar to that, but we're gonna try to make it as fun as possible. Take that rubber boot out. Yep. Try to make it as fun as we can and as safe as we can, hoping nobody.
Yeah, we want chaps, please.
Yeah. Try to have chaps.
Don't want anybody to get hurt.
That's important. Very, very important. Oh, man, that one was tight. Ooh, I thought I was going to break the tool there for a second. Factory Loctite, no joke. I think it's still in there. Maybe you didn't get it.
I think it's just stuck.
No, I think it might still be in there. Maybe it is.
No, yeah, that one's out.
Let's see. Hold on, let me shine my light on it. Can't see it. Shine the light on it real quick.
I think it's all out. It's just stuck on the gasket.
Can't see the bolt. Nope, it's not. It's missing it. This one's hard to see. Got it that time.
There you go.
Got it that time. It's off. All right. Oh, throttle cable. There it is. There it is. There she be. All right. Inspect the cylinder, see what she looks like.
A little bit of wear, but
A little bit of wear. I'm gonna stop
nothing
y'all
too bad.
real quick. We're gonna clean this cylinder up a little bit, get some of the gunk off of it, and then we'll bring you right back. And we're back. All right. So we got our cylinder all cleaned up. Got the carbon out of it. We also cleaned the piston. Got all the carbon off it. Lubed it up real good. Got it ready for assembly. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Get you a little closer. Try to do this where y'all can see. Watch the raffle saw giveaway. Let's see. Gasket needs to be flipped around. Yeah. That is correct. Okay. All right. So, let's get our screws put back in our cylinder here. We got our screws. We took them out over here. I think all but one. Yep. Got our screws here. Put screws back in our cylinder. I like to go ahead and pre-put my screws in the cylinder. It just makes life a little easier than having to put them in when you got the cylinder sitting on the saw. That way you know your screws are in the holes and you're not fighting it. It makes life a little easier. I think. You can do it either way though. Yep. Got all our screws here. Just get the last one put in. And we'll be able to be ready to start assembly here. Be ready to plop it back on there. Zoom you out a little bit so that way you're not right on top of me. There we go. That's a little better, ain't it? All right. So I'm gonna use a piston ring compressor. This makes life a little easier. These are cheap. You can buy them on Amazon, eBay. They come in a set. They look just like this. They have a piston stop and several sizes of these in there. They make life way easier. You can compress these rings with your fingers. I've done it for years, but now I'll be honest with you, now that I've got these, I can't hardly do it the other way anymore. It's been so long. I've gotten so used to using this that these things it's cheap and it'll make your life so much easier. So if you do any kind of saw work or small engine repair, these things are the cat's meow, so to speak. These things are great. They'll definitely make your life easier. Definitely recommend them. So also when you're putting your cylinders and pistons back on, make sure that your rings are in their grooves on the pins here. We'll zoom in right there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Make sure that your piston rings are on the pins. You can see I'm turning them right now. Make sure that the pin is in between the rings. Don't otherwise those rings got to be able to move around and stuff a little bit, but you don't want them spinning around because they can snag a port or something like that, and that's not good. It'll cause catastrophic failure and ruin it. So you definitely want to make sure that your rings are positioned properly. And you just squeeze the ring compressor, get your cylinder positioned up on there. And voila, my rings are inside the cylinder now. I can turn my piston ring compressor, maybe. Long skirt on these pistons here makes it a little difficult. And then I can go ahead and take 2 fingers and plop it down. Make sure my gasket's lined up. And go ahead
and get that plug wire out from underneath there.
Yep. Make sure that's not under there. I'll go ahead and just start these screws by hand. I like to start them by hand just to make sure. Make sure I'm inside my gasket here. We are. All right. Go ahead and run these down a little bit, get them all started. All right. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but these screws are a 4mm Allen head bolt. I like to use these T-handles because they work good for this. You can get down in there really well, and the longer set you got, the better it is. These right here are just a touch short to do this comfortably and have a little bit of extra room. But nonetheless, they work, and as long as you have a set of them, they make your life easier. T-handles are the way to go when you're working on these little saws. And if you can, buy the ones with the ball head, because they make your life easier too for doing carburetors on like old 2 Series Huskies and stuff like that. The ball head Allens, you can see, they give you a little bit more maneuverability. You're not just straight on and then you're stuck. You can actually move it around a little bit and still be able to turn the bolt without stripping it out. So that's another little tech tip to be able to make your life easier. All right, so our cylinder's installed now. So now it's time to get the carburetor reinstalled. Got it all cleaned up and got the limiters removed on it. So that way we can adjust it properly and we're not limited there because we'll be running a modified muffler. The saw will be stock, but it's gonna have a modified muffler on it. Just so it will breathe a little bit better. And yeah, so we want to be able to adjust the carburetor to accommodate this port. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so without further ado, let me get my adapter here set up and we'll go ahead and get this carburetor installed. All right, we're gonna get this carburetor put on now. Like I say, we got her all cleaned up and everything, got the limiters removed. She's ready to go home. These are slightly different. Let's put the adapter on. That just hooks on this little rubber mount here. Pushed in there real good. There we go. Rock that back. Yeah, I can go ahead and slide our choke in too while we're at it. We can just kind of sit there, chill out. Sorry if I'm in y'all's way a little bit here. I know y'all were trying to see what's going on. We're trying to get it where everybody can be happy here. Choke's in place. Now, the carburetor can just slip right down in there. Maybe. Quit hanging on that piece of rubber there. Hold up on the intake just a little bit. Give it some rigidity. Fight me here. Sure our lines are out of the way.
Gotta get that divider snapped up into the
Yep.
carb.
It's a little aggravating. Old Stratos. I think we about got it there. Close.
Make sure it ain't pushing out on it or anything.
It's close. Yep, that's it. It's in. Alright, now we can run our screws through. Yep. These are a 3mm, by the way. They're not a 4. Yep. Good to go. I like to evenly tighten these, so I do them a little bit at a time. And notice how I'm not reefing on the tool here. We're just using 2 fingers here and just a little bit at a time. Make sure it's evenly tightened for a good seal. All right, now we can go ahead and start hooking things up. So the choke just pops in right here. You need to do that with your thumb, or sometimes I use a screwdriver. The throttle cable hooks up right here. Just pull down on that just a little bit. Oh, we got a throttle cable issue here going on. Something going on with our throttle cable.
Sheath probably slid off. The sheath slid out.
We'll address that here in just a second. We know what it is. We're gonna go ahead and hook up our lines and everything. We can go ahead and do that. The sheath slid out of the holder in the trigger here. We can go ahead and hook up the impulse and the fuel line. Impulse is on the top, coming off the case, and your fuel line is right here. If you can see that, impulse, fuel line, impulse, fuel line. Choke's working. All right, we're gonna get this throttle cables fixed, and we'll bring you right back. All right, we're back. We got that issue addressed. It was just the throttle cable had slipped out of the sheath back here in the trigger, and that's a little aggravating to do. Eats up a lot of time. It took about, I don't know, 2 minutes to fix it. Now we're ready for the muffler. We're gonna run this muffler with this oh, that gasket just broke. We're gonna have to get another gasket.